to another edition of Let's Talk Tobago. I'm Avian Parks. I'm here at the Auchenskeoch roundabout. It's the first stop on our journey through the Carnbee Village, home of Akeem Stewart, our very own Paralympic champion, who has been making Tobago and the entire nation very proud. Today we'll be exploring Carnbee and highlighting some of the businesses that operate here. We'll also bring you up to date on the major events that happened on the island over the past week. So stay with us as we bring you all the details, starting with the headlines. Sod is turned in the village of Speyside for a new facility that will benefit the people of Tobago East in times of disaster. Akeem Stewart returns home after winning gold at the Parapan American Games. Women of Substance hosted its third annual Boys Symposium. And later, the Trinbago Knight Riders visit Tobago. It's all coming up when Let's Talk Tobago returns. Stay with us.
Hey, are you a student with a passion for art?
Yes.
Then enter the
2019 Chief Secretary's Tobago Secondary Schools Art Competition. Over $30,000 in prizes are up for grabs, including $10,000 to the top school.
The winning artwork will be featured on the cover of the Chief Secretary's Calendar 2020.
The competition starts on September 2nd.
Draw, paint, sketch, or construct your mixed media piece and submit to the Department of Information by October 16th. For more info, call 639-3421 extension 5047 or visit the THA website.
The 2019 Chief Secretary's Tobago Secondary Schools Art Competition. It's your time to shine.
Carnbee is a well-known area for business, social activity and residential living. It's also one of the few villages in Tobago where you can find a gas station. Since 2001, this station has been owned and operated by the prominent Warner family. Now from Carnbee, we take you to the village of Speyside, where sod has been turned to begin construction of a new COSTAATT building. Take a look at this story to find out how this new facility will help the people of Tobago East during times of disaster.
Preparation is a big part of being disaster ready. It's a major part of Tobago's emergency response efforts. The Community Emergency Response Team, COSTAATT, is one of those key units tasked with responding to emergencies from within communities. Now, COSTAATT's response capabilities in East Tobago are set to be boosted as its Speyside Centre is being reconstructed. In March 2018, an MOU was signed between the Japanese Embassy and the Tobago House of Assembly. They are collaborating to ensure the success of this critical project. A contractor has already been selected.
It is my privilege and duty to announce this today that Towers Consortium Consulting Agency is the company that has been awarded this contract.
Area Representative for Palatuville, Lanstomy Speyside, Assemblyman Farley Augustine, is praising the COSTAATT team for its work in Tobago East over the years. He welcomed the reconstruction project, and he's using the opportunity to remind Tobagonians to make themselves more disaster ready.
We should ensure that we are ready, ensure that our homes are up to the building codes, ensure that we respect best practices when it comes to our physical infrastructure. Ensure that when the hurricane season is approaching that we are prepared. Because you too have a responsibility. Each of us have a responsibility.
Japanese Ambassador Tatsu Hirayama is also pleased that 1 year after signing the MOU, the sod has been turned to begin reconstruction.
It is in everyone's best interest that this project will be completed on time and within budget. First and foremost, the community will be able to feel safe and secured in the case of possible disasters. Also, our government will be able to proudly announce that our assistance bears tangible fruit in an efficient and effective manner.
And Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles says he's grateful to the Japanese government for supporting such an important project.
I must sincerely thank the Embassy of Japan in Trinidad and Tobago for its immense support towards the construction of this facility, and its donation through the Grassroots Human Security Project grant, as was stated by Ms. Leslie, is some in excess of $200,000 will go a long way in assisting us.
The total estimated cost of reconstruction is $3 million. Japan contributed $1.4 million, while the THA will contribute $1.6 million. The project should be completed in February 2020. I'm Patricia Nicholson for Let's Talk Tobago.
Tobago's men can get outfitted in the latest clothes and best brands right here at Rashard's Men's Store. Owned by Ronaldo John, this business has operated from Carnbee Village for the past 15 years. Now, as I said earlier in the program, Akeem Stewart is from the village of Carnbee. Akeem recently returned home after winning gold in the men's discus event and breaking the world record at the Paralympic American Games in Peru. Here's this story.
He's a hard worker, self-motivated because he don't really need someone else to train with. Because of the self-motivation that he has, it is a positive to the kind of results that he gets.
That's how Wade Franklin describes track and field star Akeem Stewart's work ethic. Mr. Franklin has been Akeem's coach for the past 7 years. Mr. Stewart hails from Carnbee Village. Again, he brought recognition to Trinidad and Tobago at the recent Paralympic American Games in Lima, Peru, breaking his own 2015 men's discus throw world record with a 63.70 meter effort to secure gold. He followed it with a javelin throw silver. For his excellence, he returned home to a hero's welcome. Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles is proud of Mr. Stewart's performance. He's encouraging young Tobagonians to seek to emulate the record-breaking athlete.
Because Akeem would have demonstrated over the years a kind of tenacity of spirit, a kind of determination, a kind of enterprise. What he has also shown is that notwithstanding your challenges in life, once you commit yourselves to excellence and once you take note of your circumstances, you can in fact do well.
The guest of honor at the reception is also thankful for those who have supported his efforts.
I would like to thank God, my family, all my supporters, the Tobago House of Assembly, the Ministry of Sports, BPTT, Southern Sales, Body Glow Tobago, and all my training partners and friends. I always had faith and confidence in my talent and ability, so I went out and did my best, broke the whole record, and I was truly happy with it.
Akeem is next set to compete in November at the Para Worlds in Dubai. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
The building behind me is currently unoccupied. However, it is significant to Carnbee's history. The Grange Police Station was located here for close to 10 years, and before that, the building was used as a slave master's home. The station has since been relocated to Shervan Road and is now called the Shervan Police Station. Talking about policing, in honor of the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, the Division of Health, Wellness and Family Development hosted its second Substance Abuse Symposium. The symposium highlighted the issue of drug trafficking and its societal effects. Listen up to learn more.
Tobago is stepping up the fight against drug trafficking and substance abuse. The island, through the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Prevention Program Unit, ADAP, is spreading awareness about the dangers of illicit drugs. Most recently, the unit hosted its second Substance Abuse Symposium to highlight the negative effects of drug trafficking on society.
This symposium today will examine the issue of drug trafficking, not just from a statistical perspective, but from a humane perspective, and its impact on the individual, the family, and the society.
Health for Justice, Justice for Health was the symposium's theme. It reinforces the fact that justice and health are two sides of the same coin when addressing drug abuse. Health Secretary Dr. Agatha Carrington says drug trafficking and the drug trade create challenging environments, especially for young citizens. She says it's a problem that needs addressing on various fronts.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, because we live in an increasingly interconnected world where there's a troubling rise of transnational crime, particularly as it relates to drug trafficking, we must pay attention, and indeed, closer attention. As a country and as a Caribbean nation, we must develop a coordinated response to this challenge.
The symposium featured presentations and panel discussions. Participants were invited to ask questions and to share what they've learned with others in their communities.
How, and I'm trying to picture this, how do we get traffickers, dealers, pushers to confront their victims, the persons whose life they would have destroyed?
The person must first admit responsibility. So not in every case you will have someone who will be interested in taking part. You have people who are so die-hard, ingrained in their criminality, that it's very difficult to move them. But sometimes where you least expect it, you see movement.
ADUP is a unit under the Division of Health, Wellness and Family Development. The Substance Abuse Symposium was hosted at the Tobago Nutrition Cooperative Society's conference room in Canaan. I'm Carnbee Village for Let's Talk Tobago.
University education is more than the next level in the learning process. It is a critical component of human development worldwide. After this break, we'll tell you of the tertiary institution in Tobago that's training individuals to develop the capacity and analytical skills to help drive and benefit societies. We will return after this message.
It's our 43rd anniversary as a republic, and Tobago will celebrate on Tuesday, September 24th with its Republic Day Route March in Roxborough. Join us from 9 a.m. for the procession, which starts at Lamy Road, Argyle. The parade will run along the Windward Main Road, Roxborough to the Pirates Boatyard. This means traffic restrictions will be enforced between 8:30 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. No vehicular traffic will be allowed on the Windward Main Road between Lamy Road Junction and Prince Street in Roxborough. Parking is also prohibited within that area and along Lamy Road, Cameron Canal Road, Station Hill Bypass and Police Station Street. The Republic Day Route March 2019. Let's honor our journey.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tobago. We're in the village of Carnbee, where you can access the services of Orange Business Group. Previously residents in Bonaccord, this new location offers a full-service print and digital advertising agency. It's operated by one of Tobago's brave entrepreneurs, CEO Alicia Riley. From entrepreneurship to academics. So tertiary level education is not an easy feat, but there is one institution that seeks to provide the best possible experience for its students. The College of Science, Technology and Applied Arts of Trinidad and Tobago, COSTAATT. For close to 2 decades, COSTAATT has helped to increase the number of persons who are certified for the world of work. Omadara Mills gives us some reasons why you might choose this academic institution.
28-year-old Tamika Charles Nancis is a nursing student at the College of Science, Technology and Applied Arts of Trinidad and Tobago, COSTAATT. There, she's in the final year of a Bachelor of Science degree. Mrs. Charles Nancis believes that COSTAATT was the right choice for her.
At COSTAATT, you have a family environment, so it kind of buffers the whole experience of going through tertiary education. COSTAATT is really geared to persons who would not have had the opportunity to pursue a degree in the normal conditions. I am a mother and I am a wife. So for me, COSTAATT was the best option, giving me the flexibility that I needed to, be in all my portfolios, to function in all my portfolios.
COSTAATT is an accredited community college established by an Act of Parliament in 2000. The institution offers a variety of short courses, certificate, diploma, associate degree, and bachelor degree programs in business administration, phlebotomy, introduction to graphic design, sign language, nursing, and more. Some programs are available online. There's also a program for applicants who don't have all the necessary academic requirements.
Very often students may ask, well, how could I enter a tertiary institution and I do not have my full certificate? When they enter our Compass program, we provide what they need so that they can access the tertiary education.
COSTAATT prides itself on meeting the needs of residents. It's flexible, so you can enter as a full-time or part-time student. And if you miss the September intake, you can apply to start classes in January. Students also benefit from small class sizes and lecturers who work in their field of expertise.
All our lecturers are practitioners, so they bring to the classroom knowledge, experience, and skills that are necessary for these students to be successful in the world of work. Our programs are also geared to specific professions. For example, when you come to COSTAATT and pursue phlebotomy, you can become a phlebotomist.
In Trinidad, COSTAATT has campuses in Port of Spain, Chaguanas, San Fernando, El Dorado, and Sangre Grande. More than 16,000 students have graduated from COSTAATT's bachelor's and associate degree programs at the Glen Road, Tobago campus. For more information on the courses, registration and application, you can call 625-5030, extensions 5600 to 5607 or 635-1384. Or email tobago@costatt.edu.tt. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Carnbee is also home to the Penny Savers supermarket. This supermarket has provided goods and services from this location for over 20 years. It's accompanied by a pharmacy and they are both managed by the entrepreneurial Warner family. Women of Substance is a non-profit organization that advocates for the elimination of domestic violence and abuse against women. With a holistic perspective in mind, the organization also focuses on our male population, in particular, young men. The organization recently hosted its 3rd annual Boys Symposium, where the boys were mentored by men. Have a look at this story to see what they talked about.
The spotlight was recently on young men from the Pentecostal Light and Life Foundation High School who are being encouraged to stay on the right path. At the Boys Symposium hosted by the NGO Women of Substance, they interacted with several motivational speakers, including former THA Chief Administrator Ray Sandy, Political Officer Omar Malta Ali, Research Officer Marcus Kisoon, and Pastor Dapo Oyenloye. It's the 3rd Boys Symposium hosted by the organization, which helps women who have endured domestic violence and abuse. Founder Onika Maz says that mentoring boys is an important part of ending violence against women and children.
What we want to do is educate them. Okay, so if we change their mindsets from an early stage, then in the long run, we will definitely have less perpetrators. So we want them to know that, you know what, we are here to support you. We have positive role models, right? It is one of our objectives to provide that positive role model for the young men.
During the interactive small group sessions, the boys and facilitators talked about domestic violence and abuse, healthy relationships, making positive choices, and getting in touch with their emotions.
Well, I like that they're teaching you how to be a man and to be better and to think better and positive.
Telling you how to have control to your own self, and telling how to keep alive and how to behave around other people.
The facilitators hope that the sessions can inspire the boys to make better decisions as they mature into adulthood.
We have told them that there is a need for them to be different. You understand? They must not be influenced with the bad companies in the society, particularly in the academic environment.
My takeaway message for them is to encourage them to walk away from situations where they are tempted to become violent. One of the things that they have impressed on me, though, is that they feel that the legal framework is heavily stacked against men. I've heard it from almost all of the groups. So that is something we probably need to take a look at also.
When you have these programs and men with different portfolios, men with different experiences come and speak to them, it's excellent. We will encourage that. We being the males in the community policing unit, we also come to show our presence, to talk to the youth, let them know that we are here for them. They could talk to us.
The previous boys' symposiums have been held at the Roxborough Secondary School and at the Signal Hill Secondary School. Women of Substance plans to visit all the island's primary and secondary schools in a bid to positively impact the lives of our boys. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
So we're still here at Orange Business Group, and I'm standing with the CEO herself, Miss Alicia Riley. Alicia, welcome to Let's Talk Tobago.
Thank you for having me.
So you've been in business for the last 10 years. Just tell the viewers what made you plunge into entrepreneurship.
Well, I wanted to be more independent, and I also wanted to break the mold, that generational mold of women having to work and not own their own businesses or, pursue their own passion. So I wanted to break that mold and pursue my passion, which was at that time graphic design.
Fantastic. And you're also the founder of the Dear CEO initiative. Tell us a little bit about that program.
Well, being a young CEO, I've made a lot of errors in the past. So what I wanted to do with the Dear CEO initiative is to help upcoming executives as well as sitting CEOs just to expand on their vision for their company and for themselves, and just really go out there and believe in themselves and develop the right mindset of a CEO.
That's so great. I want to really commend you, Alicia, and thank you for your honesty. We've got to take a break, but coming up next, we bring you the highlights of the Trinbago Knight Riders' visit to Tobago. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The Division of Health, Wellness and Family Development, in collaboration with the Tobago Association of the Elderly, invites senior citizens, caregivers, aging specialists, healthcare professionals, and academic researchers to the 4th Annual Elderly Conference from the 23rd to the 24th of October 2019. The cost is $300 per person or $250 for groups of 5. Visit the Division's website, Facebook page, or contact 639-3395 extension 47102 to register or for more information.
In Carnbee, you'll find a variety of Christian denominations like the Carnbee Gospel Hall Church. They gather here to fellowship and learn to follow the patterns of Christ. The church has operated out of this building for the past 2 years. Now, CPL is well underway, and the Tobago Beyond brand logo is playing everywhere. It's on the sleeves of the official Trinbago Knight Riders uniforms, the defending champions of the Caribbean Premier League T20 tournament. Now, just before the start of this exciting tournament, the team visited Tobago to engage students and to unwind. We have more.
Before kicking off their 2019 Caribbean Premier League T20 campaign, the defending champions Trinbago Knight Riders visited Tobago for a team-building session. Some of Tobago's primary and secondary students got to interact with the cricketers. They also got some first-hand insights about the sport.
I am a cricketer myself, and these guys are some of my role models. Just to see some of the players that I really admire and really enjoy watching was one of the most beautiful experiences. I cherish this moment.
I'm really a cricket fan. It's such a blessing to be here and to meet the TKR players, and just to get an autograph and just to shake their hand. It's kind of surreal to see that this is the first time they come into Tobago. It's just really special.
And hopefully we'll be able to see some development of some young cricketers that we've met here today. Hopefully in time represent this team that we're lucky enough to play for now.
All-rounder Kyron Pollard is the captain for this year's tournament. He's encouraging the youngsters to play cricket at all levels. He says they too can represent the country and the region.
It gives me pleasure to see, the young students here. There's talent here as well, and it's a matter of us as individuals and role models trying to tap into that. And, with the partnership with the Tobago Tourism NLCB and with TKR, we'll be able to do that, and we can get more players and more people coming out of Tobago as well.
The team's one-day stay in Tobago ended with visits to Storbay Beach Facility, Pigeon Point Heritage Park, and the Nylon Pool. A visit the team's manager says was important after the team's rigorous pre-tournament training.
This team had not come to Tobago before, and it was important because we have a viewership of something like 26 million abroad that follow the team in India. We felt it necessary and particularly for the new guys, to come here and experience the other side of Trinidad and Tobago. Tobago is more of serenity, and I think it was really important for these guys to get here and calm down just a little bit, to do some introspection, to relax that spirit, and I think Tobago is the place.
Trinbago Knight Riders' inaugural visit to Tobago is thanks to the combined efforts of the Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation through the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, the Ministry of Tourism and the National Lotteries Control Board. From the Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation, I'm Juliet James reporting for Let's Talk Tobago.
It's now time to have your say with our very own Marlon Gotzelben. It's the segment of our program where we hear from you, the viewers. Let's take a look at who had their say this week.
No one to ask question. What do you question?
The name is A. It's only spelling things.
That's a quick question. Nothing.
That's not hold on.
I'm waiting for the money for the question now.
It's that time again. It's have your say time again. It's the time of the program where you get to have your say. No, you ever walk in a place, an establishment where they're selling food, and the person in the back there just turns to you and asks, what you want? Now this leads us to our question. What are your thoughts on how we can improve the customer service in Tobago? This is what you said.
Customers are the most valuable assets to anything.
In Tobago, we have some good services, but I think the service providers could be a little better trained so that generally people would feel welcome.
People don't really interested in helping you. All they're interested in is just seeking money.
If when you go in a store, you have to be asking, who's selling here? Anybody here?
It starts with each individual. I must treat people the way I would like to be treated. And if on that basic premise we do that, everything will change.
Sometimes you just pick up somebody on this, they come for a job and you just give them a job. You need to have that training.
Well, I think the bosses should provide proper training for the employees and them.
Often you come into a place and people react like, oh yeah, you're disturbing my lunch, or you're having me otherwise inconvenient.
Treat our customers as valuable as we are.
Always try to keep our calm and talk to the customer as best as possible.
Be more polite and everything to people.
Management has a responsibility to train their people for customer relations.
Your home it starts from, and then as you go along in life, you get to notify that how it is to deal with people in general, especially public.
Training will help, but you can train me and I can still not do the proper thing. In fact, that's what happens.
Ever so often you're going to have internal training to bring them up to standard in comparison to other countries, because we are not doing that bad after all.
The name is A. It's only spelling things.
That's a quick question. Nothing.
That's not hold on.
I'm waiting for the money for the question now.
We've come to the end of yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago. And as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program. And be sure to visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page, follow us on Instagram or Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From our house to yours, I'm Avian Parks, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and productive week. We close with a montage of THA's District Games 2019.